the crew is here. Start the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere. Groovy shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Start the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere. Start the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere. Movie shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Start the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Okay, just FYI, before we get this out of the way, for some reason my StreamYard doesn't have the thing to stream to other things. That's what we're on PONS is. So I apologize. I'll have to figure that out because I don't know, but I can't even see the button to turn it on. So,
Hey, Pons, pick up your phone and share this out on your community tab. At least people will be able to see it.
yeah, that would be helpful. We got Tug in chat, we got Candy in chat, we got Nightmare in chat, we got Esmeralda in chat, we had Mike in chat, and let's see here. We definitely have Birdzilla, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, we have the geek guy in there. We have Jocko. There we go. I said it right this time. And again, there's the Denny Staten guy. I don't know if anybody's heard of him. He's crazy. Anyways, and we got Narky. So, hello everybody who's here. And anybody out there who wants to share us out, please do. Yeah.
Greetings from South Carolina. And before anybody says anything, if you hear the paddling of brain, it's because Daily Dan is having a storm. With thunder and lightning and rain. You know why? Because it's showtime, and that's why.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, technical issues galore, guys. It's fun. Yeah. I was there last Thursday, so although I've been doing some stuff since then, so I don't know. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. You ready, Bob?
If you go to my post, I posted join us tonight. If you go to that post, it kicks us on. So I couldn't tell if it's actually streaming through my channel. It doesn't look like it is, but anyone who goes to my post will see it.
All right. Well, I'll look into that because I got other things to do that need that wonderful feature that was there.
Like run a show.
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone will figure it out.
You know, it wouldn't be a Pons and Dan show unless there was something went wrong or something happened or a storm or a hurricane.
Right?
Falling on power lines or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Snarks Test. The funny thing was I went on Tugs, no problem. In fact, it even looped it afterwards. I think, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, you reshared it after you posted it because it actually ran back-to-back on my channel.
What did?
Oh, the show we did today with Tug. After we went off, it came back on.
Tug's mine and yours. Yeah, I sent them out to everyone.
Tugs, mine and yours. Sounds like an old matinee movie.
Well, to get started with the
might be a song.
Day, I think since this was Thrash's plan, this was Thrash's topic, he should take us out a little ways down the road and get us started on this.
Yes.
I shall now. We all remember when we were kids, network TV used to produce its own movies. You had like the ABC movie of the week and that type of thing. And most of them were dreadful. Some of them were pretty good. But a lot of them, even the bad ones, were memorable. But I'm going to open with one that is actually one of the high watermarks. It was actually directed by Steven Spielberg. Oh, you have a question there, Danny?
Quick question. Are we counting the movies of the week that featured Macmillan and Wife, Columbo?
You can if you want. If there's an episode of that you want to count.
Heart to Heart. They were called movies of the week. They wasn't TV shows that aired every week, but some people consider them TV shows.
It's funny you mentioned that because if you guys know Mr. Sci-Fi, Mark Xerxes, he was a professional science fiction writer for years, wrote for Sliders and like other shows as well. He actually talked. There was a show back in. I don't remember it. I don't know, Dan. You might. It was called Fame is the name of the game, and it had like much like McLeod and that type of thing. It rotated each like there were like 3 or 4 heroes, and they would spotlight in a rotation. And there was one. The episode was a post-apocalyptic movie, and it was called LA 2017. And it's like surprisingly entertaining. I wasn't even planning on opening with that one, but since you brought up Macmillan and Wife and McLeod and those, some of those, even though they were really TV shows, and some of them were actually intended to be TV pilots. More about that later. But if you want to use an episode of that as a movie of the week, if it fits like the movie criteria, yeah, I'd say go ahead. But the one I was about to speak about, speaking of McLeod, was one that actually starred Dennis Weaver, and it was called Duel, written by Richard Matheson.
Duel's a great one.
It's an absolutely amazing movie. You could actually tell it's sort of, even though it was a truck and not a big fish, you could tell that was the precursor to Jaws. And little anecdote behind this one, if for those of you who don't know the plot, if you're on our channel, my guess is you already know the plot to the movie. But this guy driving cross country runs afoul of a truck driver who starts to mess with him. And the more he tries to get away from this guy, the more the truck, and it's like the thing, like he tries to run him off the road. He tries to get this guy into accidents.
Yeah, at one point they're at the gas station, and there's like all these animals around, and then they run through the animals, and there's like this iguana. It's crazy. It's a great movie.
It's just this guy's being tormented by a truck driver, and he never really knows why. Little anecdote. Richard Matheson, as you guys know, he wrote I Am Legend. He was one of the most influential sci-fi writers of all time, and I'm already frozen. It's okay. I'll bop out and bop back in a minute, but I want to finish this anecdote.
If you had 7-Eleven, you are a winner.
Richard Matheson and his friend had an early golf game one morning. And when they were coming home, this truck driver started to try to run him off the road. And the more they tried to drive away, the more the truck driver sped up. They had this absolute horrible experience. And they finally get rid of this guy. They go to a local police station to report the crime. And the police chief at the desk this morning says, "We don't have time for this." And he goes, "What do you mean you don't have time for this?" They go, "You don't watch the news, do you?" And he goes, No, we've just been on the road having this horrible experience. He goes, long story short, it was the day JFK had been assassinated. And every police station in the country was on high alert. So none of them had the time to deal with like little things like crazy truck drivers. But anyway, if you haven't seen the movie Duel, you have to check it out. And the really amazing thing about it is, apart from like a couple people in a bar and a guy at the gas station and whatnot, there's virtually no other characters. The entire movie is Dennis Weaver by himself, and he carries the movie amazingly. And it's just definitely check it out. Now I'm going to bop out and come back in. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay. I gotta say something about Duel though, real quick.
Give PONS credit where credit's due. At least he froze up looking distinguished, like he was making a point.
Yeah.
And I know you screenshot that, right?
Yes, of course I did. And
Okay,
the one
I'll
earlier
make sure we
today
got that one. We're gonna
Yeah,
put
yeah.
that up on a video later this week, and everybody.
Yeah, I need to do that. Anyways, yeah, but I guess this is more about Duel. Now, the first time anybody at my house when I was a kid ever watched a Duel, we had, like I said, a Nintendo in the garage, and we had to go out there with a stick and get it right. But anyways, there was a station in San Diego called Fox 6, I believe it is. Anyways, and it would play Spanish stuff. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't really Fox, but who cares? When you have antennas, every signal goes into one. It's awesome. It's a big snow fest. Anyways, but we watched Duel in Spanish, right? And you know what's amazing when you watch it in English? You don't even need dialogue. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, it's the kind of movie that you can like put on and then turn the song down and still know what's happening. It's amazing.
I remember I saw that movie late. I know I'd already seen McCloud when I finally seen Duel, and Duel was on late one night, and I remember asking my dad and looking at him and saying, "Why is McCloud being such a wussy? Why don't he just shoot this guy?" In my child mind, I wasn't getting it. It was a different character,
You're right.
But I know Duel pretty good now. It had atmosphere and intensity to it. It was pretty good for a TV movie.
I loved it. It's a family favorite of ours over here. We talk about it all the time.
I wouldn't say all that, but
I would, because it's really that good in our opinion. Because I mean, like, you watch it in Spanish and then you watch it in English, you get it all. It's fine. No problem.
Anytime you can make a movie with a $12 budget and impress people, you did pretty good.
Right? I mean, look what I do with no money.
Okay, Sarah.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. As most people know, I'm not really a big fan of TV movies. But then when you start, thinking about it, right? Well, one thing, like Doug was saying earlier, was Columbo. I mean, as a family, it was like Star Trek. We would get together and we'd all watch Columbo. We'd even go to my dad's parents' house and get together with all the relatives to watch just Columbo. And I watched a lot of Columbo, and we saw him with like William Shatner, and I was like, "Oh, look, he's awesome in this," and it was awesome. Yeah, but I always considered like it's like a TV series, right? But it really didn't only just TV movies, but they were really good. I watched them like every day still on TV.
As a matter of fact, I actually watched an episode or one of the little Columbo movies, hour and 37 minutes long today. But it was just random. It wasn't in preparation for this or nothing. I wasn't even thinking about it being a movie of the week. But I watched it because it was about this scientist who used a robot to run a machine for his alibi while he committed a murder. And it was so cool because the robot that did it was Robbie the robot from the movie.
Yeah, I just saw it a few days ago. And and the little kids like a genius and stuff. Yeah.
When it was on TV, I DVR'd it, and I said, "Oh," because in the little trailer for it, where they were advertising it, it had Robbie the robot bouncing around. I thought, "Heck, let me find that and DVR it real quick. I want to check that out." And I watched that today. That's what I watched after wrestling during breakfast this morning.
That's cool.
Columbo morning movie, man.
You know what's really funny too is like Mrs. Columbo. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I had the lady from Star Trek in it.
Yeah, Kate Mulgrew in there. And also you found out Columbo had a daughter.
I'm sorry, but I can never remember her name. I call her Janeway.
Well, that's fine. She responds to that, I'm sure.
I met her in person one time and called her Janeway, like a putz.
I'm sure she was
Janeway.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me like I had dental issues.
Well, look, dude, I met Jeffrey Combs. I didn't say a word to him. Okay, I went, and then he's like, "Thank you for your support." I went, "You're welcome," like an idiot. But anyways, it works. When Marco came, I said cool things to him.
It's like when I met famous actor James Best, who played Roscoe P. Coltrane, and I got his autograph, and I looked at him right there in the face and said, "Thank you, Roscoe." He looked at me and said, "Son, my name's James."
Okay, Roscoe. And he walked off, right?
Thank you, Roscoe.
Well, yeah,
this is our best.
Brilliant.
He directed Killer Shrews.
Ow, I got hair in my eye. Can't see.
I didn't know he directed it, but I knew he played in it.
He directed it too. Yeah.
That could explain
Crazy. Yeah, he actually had a few directing credits, believe it or not. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, Danny, I guess you're up.
And I'm gonna talk about, to me, the greatest TV movie of all time. A TV movie that was so good, it not only spawned a sequel TV movie, but it spawned a TV series.
Ooh.
Knowing me the way you do, I'm pretty sure Sarah's already guessed. I'm going to have to bring up The Night Stalker, starring Darren McGavin. Probably the greatest TV movie of all time. It spawned a sequel called The Night Strangler, and then, which was a TV movie too. And then it spawned a 24-episode TV series called The Night Stalker, all starring Darren McGavin in his finest role ever. It's also my favorite TV show of all time.
It was a good show.
All I know is every time you touch it, you get in trouble by YouTube. So,
and here's one for you. This TV movie that spawned another TV movie and a series was the forefather that spawned The X-Files.
Definitely. In fact, if you guys remember correctly, shout out to ENC. How you doing, my brother? When he and I were going to be doing a spotlight on The X-Files, it became really obvious. I'm like, oh my God, this was an episode for The Night Stalker, and this was an episode of The Night Stalker. There were like a few episodes that you could actually connect the dots. You're like, yeah, they took a Night Stalker episode and made an X-Files episode out of it. There's actually one about they're basically cave people living in like the sewers and stuff, and it's like a direct, almost, I wouldn't say carbon copy, but you can see how they took one and made it into the other. So yeah, Night Stalker was the X-Files without the X-Files. But of course, Night Stalker, he also worked alone. It wasn't Scully and Mulder. It was just our hero, and he carried the show. And help a brother out here, Danny. The original movie, the one where he's trying to track down the vampire, wasn't that loosely based on an actual criminal case? Loosely.
About
vampires,
a serial killer in Las Vegas. Yeah, that was definitely women's. But yeah, actually it was. But very loosely, may I say
Very
that?
loosely.
Very loosely.
Let
me throw this out there while we're talking about the X-Files real quick. Friday nights at 10 o'clock on the History Channel Eastern, there's a new show starting called, I think it's X-Files Declassified. It's David Duchovny, and he's presenting real X-Files and exploring them now. And he's going to solve the UFO mysteries and hunt down a lot of the Way to go, David. We'll all watch it.
It's funny. It's sort of like Unexplained or that Dan Aykroyd series. It's like they're taking all these like actors who need work and they're giving them their own paranormal shows.
From what I've seen, it's going to be more hands-on, and he's not only going to just stand there like Shatner does and talk about them. He's actually going to go out and investigate them and do stuff.
Well, he's half Shatner's age too. Shatner's what, 92 now, 93?
Not 100. Nobody can go right down Bigfoot, okay?
You know, isn't it crazy?
He might go to Mars, from what I hear.
Well, you know what I think is crazy is like out of like all the people that I grew up watching, I did not see William Shatner being nearly 100. I did not.
Yes.
I think it's crazy. But
well, Dan Aykroyd is going to be 80.
You know, but when I look at William
that's
Shatner,
funny too. It's like back to Ghostbusters.
Shatner holds a special place in my heart, man. I come into this world watching Star Trek and watching William Shatner on TV, and here I am, 59 years old, and I am still watching William Shatner on TV. I have watched him in every century, every 10 years, decade or a century. Well, every 10 years is either a decade or a century. I think it's a decade.
10 years is a decade. You were right. You were right.
Every decade I have watched him in a show. From Little Blue Riding Hood to Rescue 911, back in the day, Star Trek in the 60s. Yeah, every decade I have watched him in a TV show. And
do you know how many of those made-for-TV movies he did, by the way? In fact, Chance
Oh
was
my
just
God,
talking
he
about
probably
one.
holds the record, don't he? We could go through 5,000 of them.
Probably. Chance was talking about one called The Babysitter with Patty Duke Austin. I believe she was
I
also in
watched
it.
it yesterday on Chance's channel.
I saw
Special
that
shout
with
out.
my uncle
Hey,
when I was
Chance.
visiting for Thanksgiving. When I was like 12. I saw it when it first aired. But yeah, he was in that. He was in one. He plays a preacher in it's sort of a cross between Terror at 20,000 feet and The Exorcist. They're in a plane and the plane is possessed.
I know exactly the one you're talking about. It's on my watch list on Cool Movies on the Danny Staten channel.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it's a crazy movie. It's really crazy. But yeah.
I got hair in my eye again. That's crazy.
My favorite.
Hey, Chance, I didn't see it. Well, welcome in. I didn't. I haven't been looking at the comments.
What?
We were just talking about Chance showing that movie with Patty Duke Aston the other night. It was a great movie. I liked it too. That's
The Babysitter.
I was really impressed with the music on that TV movie for some reason. It stood
Well,
out.
I have to catch up because I've had tech issues. So I have to catch up with everybody. That's crazy.
And I think Shatner's best TV movie, what was Kingdom of the Spiders?
Now, help a brother out here. I could have sworn, and Chance, you might know too. I said that was a made-for-TV movie, but a guy called Terry Talks Movies corrected me. He said, no, that actually had a theatrical release. Can we confirm whether or not it was made for TV or just a movie that was released?
This is why we need Chance on the show with us.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was a made-for-TV movie, but someone said, no, it actually was released in the theaters. It bombed. They brought it to TV, and everybody remembers it as a TV movie. I saw it on TV. That's for darn sure. And it has a feel like a TV movie. The pacing is like the drama breaks every 15 minutes so you can show a commercial.
I retract my comment. It was theatrically released in 1977.
And bombed.
Finally.
So it was released in 1980. Made for TV movie.
1977.
Do you know a little fun fact there? Of course, they're supposed to be killer tarantulas. You know, tarantulas are actually deathly afraid of humans because we could squash them. So they would put all these tarantulas on a bed or on the floor or in a car, and when a person got in, the tarantulas would all run away. They would have guys with like air hoses spraying at the tarantula to make it go back at the person because they were.
I feel bad for defending that movie. Now, I defended Kingdom of the Spiders because I figured, hey, it was on a TV movie budget. They did the best they could. To find out that had a theatrical budget, now I'm just sad about it.
Well, Dan, you gotta remember, before Star Wars, the 70s was sort of like the low watermark for science fiction. Even theatrically released movies were getting no budget.
I mean, look at science fiction. I'd call Kingdom of the Spiders horror.
Ooh. All right, opinion is divided. Here's the situation. I think it's science fiction because the tarantulas are modifying their behavior because of climate change. And if it's a man-made effect, then it's science fiction. If you believe that, like, the spider demons are making the spiders attack people, then it'd be horror. But, you know, nature horror, that type of thing.
How about the original movie Tarantula?
With the giant spider? The Bernard Gordon film? That's definitely sci-fi.
Oh, I consider them movies horror movies, like they're different than an old Frankenstein.
That's just because you were afraid of spiders, so that would be horror to you.
No, a monster is a monster. That makes it horror. Regardless of what made the monster a monster, it's still horror.
Valid. Okay.
Because if you take that argument, there's a werewolf movie where the guy's giving chemicals with Michael Landon, and he gets shot up by the doctor and he turns into a werewolf. Now, he's a chemically created werewolf. Therefore, he's science fiction, right?
Yes.
But the wolf man who's bit naturally turns into a monster, well, he's horror. Do you see my point?
Valid.
Wolfman, how he became a wolf man, still a monster.
That's why in the old video stores, it was always sci-fi horror. The two went together. So
Crazy.
I acknowledge your point, but well, it's like any zombie movie, and I'm frozen again. Is it horror or is it sci-fi?
That'll teach you to bring up the zombie movies on this show.
It certainly will. It certainly will.
So while
Yeah.
Pond Dash was out, come back in, Sarah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There he goes.
Mm-hmm.
You can give us your second choice for TV movies that made you cry. No, I'm just
Made me
kidding.
cry.
Yeah, because
Oh
you had
man,
to
that's
take
like none of them. I mean, some of them were so awful that I couldn't watch them, but none of them made me cry that I'm aware of. Look, as far as like TV movies go, I'm honest with you guys, I always try to avoid them at all costs because there's channels like the Hallmark Channel and Lifetime. It's full of that, and they're not so good, right? So I'm trying to think here. I really am. I don't know, but like, I know we talked about some before the show, and I've seemed to draw a blank because now I have to think about is why isn't my StreamYards perfect? Sorry. Anyways, why don't you guys continue? Maybe I'll get my brain back.
Well, one of the things that I thought was slick about some of these made for TV movies, and like I said, a lot of them were intended to be like 2-hour pilots for TV shows, but some of them were themselves TV shows. In fact, you remember the short-lived Planet of the Apes TV series?
Hi, Emily.
Oh, Emily, hey, how you doing? After that show was canceled, the network took some of the episodes and cut them in to a movie length and released them as made-for-TV movies, which is funny because the two segments had absolutely positively nothing to do with each other. But it was Planet of the Apes, so the kids didn't care. But I remember there was as you know, I'm a huge fan of Planet of the Apes. When I worked at the video store, a kid came in and he goes, I'm looking for Beyond the Planet of the Apes. Well, there isn't one. Oh, yeah, there is. They go into a city and they find this locker and it's got information. And I go, that was a made-for-TV movie. That was two of them. And this kid was convinced that it was actually a film. And I go, no, it's two TV shows put together. But in my opinion, one of the coolest times they did that was, speaking of Mr. Roddenberry, when he tried to have a follow-up series after Trek was canceled. And he wanted to do the Dylan Hunt saga. Now, there were actually 3 attempts to do that, and all 3 of them were ultimately shut down. In fact, I think the third one isn't even Dylan Hunt. I think the third one was actually for a different network altogether. But there was the first installment with Alex Cord, and that was a 2-hour pilot. When that wasn't picked up, they did a pilot episode and a follow-up episode with John Saxon. And when that didn't work, they took the 2 episodes and worked them together into a feature film. And then they did that again with Planet Earth. So here you're taking what's effectively unused TV pilots and jockeying them into feature length just so you can actually try to remarket them. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But when you have John Saxon, it's always going to work, in my opinion.
They did the same thing with Galactica. They rammed the first 2 episodes together, made a movie, and released it in the theaters.
You know, when I was younger, I thought Babylon 5 was going to be, because I hadn't heard all about it at the time, right? But I thought, because they played like the first thing you see is like a TV movie, right? And then they go into the series, but they never like really show the first one again. So that would be like one of those things that when I was younger, because I caught that as, before I knew it was going to be a series, right? I tried to watch all like science fiction ones, and that did not work out. I was still bleeding from some of those things I saw. But Babylon 5, I thought was one like that, and before like they went to the series. So
quite a few TV pilots are made for TV movies. Actually get theatrical releases in other countries.
Well, that'd
really?
be cool.
Yeah,
really?
Quite a few of them have.
Right on.
So you got to take that into consideration. If people want to Google which ones, feel free. But there's been too many to mention.
Nothing you mentioned did. I saw the Battlestar Galactica movie in the theaters, even though I had seen Both of them on TV. That's
Another
what a fan I was.
one is Buck Rogers in the 25th Century that had a theatrical release for basically the same thing you were seeing on TV.
But the funny thing about the Battlestar Galactica theatrical release is they kill Baltar.
Yeah.
The Cylons behead him. And it's because in the TV adaptation, what do they call the lizard race? The ones that actually build the Cylons. What do they call them?
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank here.
I have no clue. I cannot remember.
Chance might know. But anyway,
Maybe.
they spared Baltar because, of course, John Colicos is a recurring bad guy through a lot of the series. John Colicos is great, by the way. I think he was on Galactica. He was in Star Trek, of course. He was in that Star Lost, which was terrible, but he was good at it.
You was talking about Ray Bradbury, and I think he made a little TV movie miniseries thing called The Martian Chronicles with Rock Hudson.
Was John Colicos in that? I haven't seen it in years, but
I don't think so. But there was.
I remember Rock Hudson is in it. I remember Darren McGavin is in it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I probably remember it because him being one of my favorite stars. But that was a pretty good TV thing,
The Martians give him the land grant because they decide they want to share Mars with the other survivors from Earth. But
yeah, because Mars is a small planet.
Well, everyone was dead. The only people, most of the Martians got wiped out by chickenpox, which we brought to them, and then the only people. Remember the Mars colony? They all went back to Earth because they were afraid they wouldn't be stuck there during the war. The irony being, Earth was destroyed in a nuclear war. So only a handful of refugees made it back to Mars. Wow. That's the payoff of Million Year Picnic, which is possibly the best Ray Bradbury short story included in the Martian Chronicles, although they kind of ham it up. The actual short story is, in my opinion, better than its depiction in.
I always thought the books were better too.
I did like Fahrenheit 451. I mean, it has nothing to do with this, but I love that. That was awesome. I was like, burning books, let's do it. I want to read. Let's go. Anyways.
That's Bradbury's only feature length work was Fahrenheit 451. Everyone says, "Oh, I love all your novels." He goes, "I only wrote one." He wrote hundreds of short stories, but the only real feature length sci-fi novel he wrote was Fahrenheit 451.
I don't know. He wrote some pretty long-winded short stories.
Oh, and yes, Dr. Smith was also the voice of Lucifer.
Yeah,
the pain. The pain.
Now he pinch checks his bum, but every time he's I don't understand why every episode everybody was like surprised that he tried to betray them. It's so crazy.
I'm the bad guy. It's what I do. It's like,
Yeah, it's like, what? You're still doing the naughty thing? That's crazy.
One of the things that I was really kind of, I don't know why they cut it out of the pilot. In the original pilot for Lost in Space, they actually say in so many words that Dr. Smith is actually working for a foreign power. He's an enemy agent. So why did they leave it? Cut that out and they make it kind of ambiguous as to why he was in there to sabotage the mission. We can kind of figure he's working for the Russians, but in the original pilot, it makes it very clear. But then they kind of forget about it in season 2. He just becomes Well,
I think they just forget that like every day he's just going to try to kill him or something. It's just what he does, and they act like it's the first time every time. And I'm like, I always thought that was very, very weird as a kid. I'm like, but he's just going to do the same thing.
Well, the interesting thing is, I get the feeling that Goddard and certainly Major West would have killed him outright. But June Lockhart was always begging and pleading and pleading and begging. No, you can't. He's a human being. He's a human being.
No, he's not. I can prove it. Yeah. That robot is more human than he. Mm-hmm.
That's where the irony kicks in.
Yeah, the robot he doesn't go out of his way to make sure everybody dies every episode. He's just like, no, doesn't do that. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, don't be a Dr. Smith, everyone. There you go. More of today's story.
Be a B9. There you
go. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Now, Chance, what am I thinking of? If Smith wasn't in it, what am I Because I've seen the footage. Was it in a later episode or an unaired pilot? Because now I'm confused. Did I imagine it? Am I in early onset dementia?
Yeah, well,
Did
I'm still
you Did you say you're in unzipped dimension?
Early onset dementia.
Oh, early onset dementia. I thought you were on unzipped dimension. I was like, what is an unzipped dimension? I've never heard of that. Tug,
Thank you
translate.
for playing. We have some lovely parting gifts. I like beets.
What?
I like beets.
Meats?
Beets. Sugar beets.
Sorry, beets. Ew, ew.
No, I'm trying to act like a silly old bat. And you're making it difficult.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand. I got lost somewhere.
Oh, I try to understand. It just makes life so much easier.
Give Sarah a break. She don't have to try to be difficult.
Aw.
I'll put Chin's comment back up. He kind of explains it all.
Wait.
No Place to Hide is the Lost in Space pilot directed by Irwin Allen. There is no robot or Smith in that. Okay, so I must be thinking of some other footage from some other episode. But again, I don't think it ever aired. You know what I might have done? I might actually be confusing an anecdote I heard with footage I saw, and I don't know. Chance, anyway, I defer to your knowledge. You know way more about this than I'm comfortable arguing with you. Hi, Mrs. Thrash.
I like hi, Mrs. Thrash. I like what Emily said there. That's pretty funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Tug's next book is going to be Unzipping Dimensions. It's going to be great. Unzipping Dimensions.
So made for TV movies.
It'll be one of those
wish
two.
my computer had the option where I could make the letters in the chat bigger, like the fonts, like the telephone, where you can change the phone up and make it bigger, where you can see the letters better.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you
I
can.
want you to put me bend down like this. I'm trying to read them tiny little words on that chat right there.
Thank you,
It's
Chance.
almost them all.
Oh, and hello, Tracy. And I passed on your hello to Mrs. I would, but she actually left the room. But I'll pass it on.
No.
When I see, you know.
She's not keeping an eye on you? That's crazy. Huh.
And she left me alone with scissors. And no, I'm kidding.
Well, a good thing I'm just over here in California, very safe from you.
Yes, I've heard how safe California's been lately.
Oh yeah, I'm getting out of it. Wait and see. I'm leaving.
Where are you heading to?
Anywhere but here.
Very good.
No, I've been talking to my friend for years. I've known her since 8th grade. And she's been in Minnesota since the end of 8th grade. So I'm finally I'm going to go. Forget it. I'm going to go. And that's where I'm going to go.
Well,
Minnesota. Thank you. It
Minnesota,
should be less.
don't you know?
Yeah, it should be less natural disasters. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, every day I'm like, what?
You ever been to Minnesota right there, girl?
No, but I've been to Utah, so and Colorado.
I've been to Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a great city.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Minnesota is really cool. Lots of cool people come from there. But the problem with Minnesota is during the winter time, in January, the 8 feet of snow kind of causes problems getting in and out the house.
Well, fortunately for me, I like the snow, but see, like, I'm looking forward to the fact that it won't be like, hopefully 120, right? That'd be so cool. Oh man, it would be so cool not to catch on fire every day. I'm looking forward to that. Now, I look good frozen, so it'd be fine.
Yeah, well, you get both in Minnesota. You get 109 in July and 10 below.
109 is better than 120.
Froze in winter.
Oh, 257 brings up a great one. It's called "Don't Be Afraid of the Dark," with I believe the actress's name was Darby, I believe, and Frederick Murray from My Three Sons, Uncle Charlie, plays a handyman or something in it. And this one is amazing. Have you guys? I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's about this young couple. They buy a house. and in the sort of furnace are these little demons that somehow get stuck in their head, that if they can capture the woman and bring her down with them, she'll be their queen and they can take over the world. And they do a lot of forced perspective, but the makeup effects for the little demon guys are so cool. I don't know if any of you saw, speaking of pilots that were released as a made-for-TV movie, if any of you have ever seen Fugitive from the Empire, pause for laughs, there were these really cool snake men in it. They look just like the Snake Men in Fugitive from the Empire. Oh, by the way, for you sci-fi geeks out there, Fugitive of the Empire is something that to this day I lament was never actually released. It's sort of Dungeons and Dragons meets post-apocalyptic. It's set in the future, thousands of years after World War III. Magic has replaced technology, and this kid who is part of this tribe is wiped out by this oligarch who is like something out of Thulsa Doom from Conan, and kills his father, played by Lee Marvin, and all his friends. But he gets this magic bow, and he takes a magic bow and he goes on a quest for revenge, and he hooks up with this one guy's a thief, and one a woman is a really, really powerful mystic warrior, and they have all kinds of adventures. And I just happened to catch it on TV when I was down in Florida, of all places, visiting my father. And I fell in love with it. And it was supposed to be a TV series, but it was never released.
You fell in love in Florida?
I fell in love with the TV series. Well, I fell in love with a made-for-TV movie, which was to be a pilot for a soon-to-be-released TV series that, again, was sort of Conan the Barbarian meets post-apocalyptic wasteland. And it wasn't picked up, and to this day, I lament it. But
I swear to God, for a minute, I thought you were talking about Thundar the Barbarian cartoon.
It's very similar to Thundar. Very, very similar. And, oh, by the way, Chance, I said Fred McMurray, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Fred McMurray was the dad. What I did mean, it was also in the Kane Mutiny. What I did mean was William Demerhurst, who played Uncle Charlie. Thank you. Chance, this is why I love having you around. Because, I get scatterbrained, and you keep us on track.
Chance knows there's an open invitation, and whenever we're having a show, anytime he wants to jump on, he's more than welcome to come on and hang out.
On the link right now.
Definitely.
I did the link too.
He knows collectively more than all of us put together. Really, he does.
And well, Chance, to answer your question, for some reason, Sarah and I were having trouble with the co-streaming option.
Yeah.
So we're only available on her channel.
It's not popping up on my end right now, so I got to go figure that out because it was there Thursday.
If you go into my post and you click on the post, it'll take you to this show. But unfortunately, I can't broadcast it like I did with Tugs earlier today. But thank you for asking.
Yeah, normally it's the thing I do, but I can't.
Tug, enjoy your meatloaf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's eating meatloaf. I'm supposed to be eating meatloaf with him. What am I doing here?
I had a bowl of cereal.
Well, I wish Dad had a bowl of cereal. I ate something else.
Look, dude, I got some jalapeno ranch puff things here, okay? They're awesome.
Jalapeno? Mm-hmm. I don't do jalapenos. I have a sensitive tummy.
Well, see, this stuff here is like super weak sauce, and I love it. Like, I don't know if anybody here eats like hot Cheetos or anything. Okay, that's hot. This is just tasty. There's difference.
Have you tried the new pizza Cheetos, by the way? They're actually pretty good.
No, I haven't, but, it's on my list of poison foods to eat. I swear.
I don't eat junk food very often.
So, I don't see him in the chat tonight, but Walter Ross from the entertainment headquarters,
what you doing?
I promised him that I would mention what is, again, one of the best of the made-for-TV movies. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's called Bermuda Depths. It stars Connie Sellecca as basically a sea demon. And long story short, this kid is playing on the beach in Bermuda, and he meets this girl, and he gets called away. When he comes back, he sees the little girl going into the ocean on the back of a turtle. Convinces himself he imagined the whole thing. Long story short, years later, he goes back to Bermuda after some personal problems, and he meets up with Burl Ives, who is sort of like a local scientist / smart person. And he finds out that the girl, her name was Jenny Hennevin. Jenny Hennevin is an old urban legend about a woman who survives a shipwreck by making a pact with Satan. And Satan comes in the form of this giant sea turtle. And what happens is this giant sea turtle starts terrorizing Bermuda.
Of
And
course.
Carl Weathers is in it. He plays a marine biologist. And it's part Jaws meets part action movie. Again, Burr Lives is amazing in it. I actually long story short, I found this out. My dad took me to the islands when I was a kid. We actually stayed in Burr Lives' home. I didn't know it at the time, or if I did, I forgot. But a little feather in the cap there. Totally unrelated to what we're talking about, but I just thought I'd mention it. Connie Selica's amazing in it. Carl Weathers is great in anything he does. So again, and again, the practical effects, the giant sea turtle is actually pretty convincing, especially when you consider it's actually made by Rankin Bash. Their non stop motion animation division. So when you expect Rudolph and singing Snowman with the voice of Burr Lives, and what you get is this actually really slick movie. Again, last I checked, it was actually available on YouTube. I don't know if it still is.
I have a
But if it
vague
is, check it
memory
out.
of that movie. I really do. I have a memory of that movie. I've seen it.
It's a great movie.
I remember making Gamera jokes all during the movie.
It begged either Gamera or the scene in 1 million BC where they take on the giant Archelon, where for some reason Raquel Welch screams Archelon at it, which is funny because they're not supposed to speak proper English. But for some reason, she screams Archelon when she sees the Archelon, and I'm frozen again. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it for now.
Awesome.
At least you always freeze up looking so dignified.
I look constipated.
Dad's like, he's like, be nice. You're dignified. He's like, I gotta poop.
I look like the prunes just kicked in.
People watching, it wouldn't be our show if they were not technical glitches and storms and dogs and everything else going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Killer clowns from outer space.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Sorry.
Which is not made for TV.
So while I'm sitting here doing the stream, my dog decides to pull a Houdini and escape the house, run around in the rain, get soaking wet with people running around going, no, get out the rain, get out the rain. So it's been like a comedy show going on in the background here.
Oh yeah, no.
I wish it had the Benny Hill soundtrack.
Yakety sax.
That would probably get us in trouble. But yeah, no, yep. Agreed. Yeah, that's such a great series too. Anyways, made for TV movies, right?
Yeah. So moving along to the next made for TV movie. I guess it's my turn, right? Am I right?
Yes, it is.
To me, one of the greatest made for TV movies of all time. I guess I'm a vampire fan because I have to go with Salem's Lot, the Stephen King made for TV movie miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were all really good, but with special love for Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot was amazing, and it had an absolutely outstanding cast. The cast was amazing. Now, and Chance, you probably know. In fact, I think you may have even told me this before, but I forgot. Wasn't there a story about Salem's Lot, how it was supposed to be released, but they delayed it for a few months? I can't remember if it was because of the Iranian hostage situation or because of some plane crash or something. But what was the story behind
about that
for Salem's Lot?
Salem's Lot is one of them TV miniseries. Well, here it was a TV miniseries, but it was actually edited down to a 2-hour and 8-minute movie and released in Europe and England and several other places. And actually was a TV movie that actually made a big profit.
It was amazing. It was
a foreign release. It did turn a really big amount of money.
Well, it was amazing. I'm gonna pop.
Oh, you're gonna okay, you do that.
And Thrash has beamed out.
What?
I said Thrash has beamed out.
I think he fell out. Honestly, he was like, "Oh, Trey House," and fell out. It was crazy.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, you've been putting out a lot of AI music videos lately.
Oh yeah, it's the only thing that's keeping me from getting in trouble on YouTube every 5 minutes.
Well, I don't get in trouble on YouTube every 5 minutes. If you've seen some of the videos I put out lately, you understand that.
Yeah.
I do copyright claim theater where I put out a video and just know it's going to get a copyright claim. It's before it's even up good.
Right, and yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm getting hit from things from years ago, and they didn't have the copyright on them. Now suddenly they're all blocked in all over there, and I'm chronically getting notifications of like, delete. So my channel will never go anywhere because, so AI music it is now. Haha, sorry.
You know, unrelated, but I want to share something that happened to me on a Facebook.
Thanks.
Because a lot of us go on Facebook to promote our stuff and stuff on our channel. Oh my God, Chance, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Chance.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. Love the backdrop, by the way. Absolutely
I told
amazing
you he's
backdrop.
Superman every day of the week.
I love the backdrop there.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you.
TOS.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that.
It's better to be TOS than POS, that's for sure.
I'm always happy. I'm always happy when Chance shows up on the show because no matter what, I know the show quality just went up 50%.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt. So Chance, do you recall the anecdote as to why Salem's Lot was their initial release date was released? I know there's a story there somewhere.
Yeah, it was. You hit it on the head about the Iran hostage situation. And it aired after Halloween, which I thought was weird as a kid. I was like 7 or 8 years old. It aired like around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, or Veterans Day or something like that. Yeah.
2-night event. And there's so many iconic things. We could do a whole show on Salem's Lot. I mean,
we could. Oh, and I got a special request. Tug has asked me to do my James Mason impression, so gotta get into character. James Mason as Mo from the Three Stooges. Lame, Curly, I'm going to have to hit the two of you very, very hard. Jeez, the corpse. Let's scram, fellas. Woo woo, woo woo. Scene there.
And scene. Yes, very good.
Yeah. Wait, I got one more. James Mason as Ralph Cramden from The Honeymooners. Shall we go? Oh, Norton. Shall we go bowling tonight? It's a very important night for us. Bowling night.
I love it.
Thank you.
And Geek says thank you. So there you go. You did it. Spot on or something. There you are.
Hey, Thrash, the foreign power was Aeolus Fortinumbra. Calling Aeolus Fortinumbra. That's who Dr. Smith was reaching on his little communicator on the Jupiter 2. And he got trapped aboard. But yeah, he wasn't in the unaired version of the pilot. He was in the aired first episode. Him and the robot were added at the last minute when CBS picked the show up as a weekly series.
I knew there was some story behind it, but I've heard so many anecdotes over the decades, I can't keep them straight.
I understand.
My mind fills in the gaps. Thank you. And I assume Areola 500 was actually the Soviet Union. I'm guessing, but they didn't want to say that. So
Aeolus 14 yeah, and they did a comic book series in 1989, 1990 that explored that in great detail, what that foreign power was that was paying him to sabotage the Jupiter 2. It was a Gemini 12 in the unaired pilot too. They had a different name for the space ship.
Really?
Huh. And they had the same guy, the same reporter from The Voice in the Bottom of the Sea movie, also directed by Irwin Allen. And
Basehart? Richard
not
Basehart?
just a minor character. He was a reporter. He was the guy reporting in the first couple episodes of Lost in Space. Anyway, he's just like the Walter Cronkite of the year 1997, as it were. It was set in 1997.
He was also in one of the episodes of Twilight Zone. I think it was called The Apple or something. I believe.
Probably.
Yeah. Where it's a takeoff on Adam and Eve. He's in a spaceship that crashes on a planet.
Oh, Basehart. Yes. You're talking about Basehart.
Yeah,
yes.
Basehart.
Probe 7 Over and Out, and that's season 5, and it's with Antoinette Bauer, who plays the love interest.
Very good.
Who was the woman in
Actually, right before this stream, I was watching a old movie about time travel from 1977 with Richard Basehart in it. Was it The Time Traveler? The Time Travelers? You know the movie I'm talking about, Chad?
Time Tunnel?
Yeah. And the land that time forgot. One of those. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Oh, that was Doug McClure.
Doug McClure and Future Ursa was in
No,
it.
this is actually a time travel movie about people who go back in time to find a cure for a virus in the future.
Right.
And it had the guy from it had the I think his name's Richard Baytart, the guy from Voice to the Bottom of the Sea that was the Admiral.
Yes.
Yes.
Admiral Nelson.
Terror in the Streets, I think that's called.
Yeah, he was
if I remember correctly.
Something I was actually watching today.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
You know, when he died in 1984, sadly, but he was still the voice of Knight Rider in the opening. They used his, just like when Ted Cassidy died, the voice narrated Incredible Hulk, who did the growls when he died in 79. They kept him on. Baseheart was in the pilot of Knight Rider, if you recall. He was the rich guy that transformed Michael Knight's face.
Which is the funniest thing, because you watch the pilot and it's the same exact face, just in the shadows, and somehow it's supposed to be different.
Right. But it's his voice. It goes, you know the opening bit, with that iconic theme song. That's Richard Basehart's voice. Anyway.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Anyways, Knight Rider is awesome.
What do you guys think, Thrash? Wouldn't you think he was British? And everybody, Dan, wouldn't you think Baseheart, the way he spoke, he was actually an American, but he sounded European. Same with Jonathan Harris.
He spoke in that transatlantic accent.
Yeah,
that was supposed. They thought that was going to be the way proper diction was going to be spoken in the future. As it turns out, it didn't catch on. But he spoke with that very deliberate.
Oh, wait a minute, where were they born at? It might be a regional thing that people from that region, like were they born in Michigan or something?
Nope. Baseheart, I'll tell you where he's born.
Well, I gotta tell you this though. Geek is right. Don't change the Hoff. After all, Hoff is national treasure. But his wife just died recently too. That's sad. Sorry about that.
One of them. Yeah, one of his wife. He was born in Zanesville, Ohio, guys. Richard Baseheart. Zanesville, Ohio. The zany town of Zanesville.
The zany town. Oh no. Okay.
And hey guys, Willem Dafoe's the same way too. A strange accent you think is European or something. He's like born in Boston or something. Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll all be from Ohio with that same little place.
It's an Ohio speech impediment, is what it is.
Well, it's like that. Okay.
Yo, you.
It's like that joke in Ghostbusters 2. Where are you from anyway? The Lower East Side.
Yeah.
Dafoe was born in Wisconsin State, Appleton, Wisconsin. Very strange. Okay.
Well, he's pretty cheesy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I like him.
And last thing, Jonathan Harris, Dr. Smith, was born in New York, New York. So no regional connection there between any of those three.
He was like neighbors with Red Fox. In fact, Red Fox, when towards the end of his career, when he was having trouble getting work, he was doing episodes of Sanford and Son.
Yes, he did.
Because he would come back. So, Mr. Fox, do you need any work this week? And it's like, yeah, I'll get you the show. You can play a creepy lawyer or something. It's like,
he did. He played an antique dealer in one of them, and I met Jonathan in 1992 when he pinched my butt, and we're having a private.
Yeah.
Let me finish my thought. Well, I'm just kidding. Out of context, we had a private drink session. Anyway, it was me and a good buddy, a friend of him invited me. And no, here's the thing. He was talking about working with Red Fox, and he says, Red Fox, he goes, he was a dirty man. He would talk to the production assistant and say, come over here, honey. I've got half a hard on for you. I swear, I have it on videotape, him telling me that private story. I'm like, can I record this? It's too good, sir. Anyway.
And then he pinched your butt. Yeah, we know.
That's a great story, Chance. That's a great one. And he pinched your butt, which is even better.
Weird.
See, that's why
married to a woman. He was straight. I think. I don't know. I guess
could have been a beard.
Look, Chance, you just have one of those butts that people want to pinch. I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
Maybe he played both sides of the field.
Well,
for crying out loud, people still say Tony Randall was straight. And I'm like, really?
Really? Danger, Will Robinson. I feel bad for Will Robinson. Anyway.
Well, more of the story is, if I ever meet Chance in person, I'm going to do what he did and pinch his butt, because I want to be cool too. I recommend everybody do it. He's going to be at a convention soon. Make sure you pinch his butt. Don't really do that. I don't want to get in trouble.
Next week, stellarfest.org. They invited me to be a guest. I'll be there next week.
That's
why awesome. I don't know. Now they want me to interview people for the Pod Blast, and I volunteered to bring a projector. and film reels of things. Judy Robinson's going to be there, Thrash. Marty Kristen, the original, and she looks fantastic. She sadly lost her home though in the LA California fire, so she lives in Florida. So
Oh yeah, because Florida's safer.
yeah, it is. I mean, from earthquake, but you're right. There could be a tornado. You know.
Well, listen, I live in the most natural disaster state ever, so don't even try to fight with me on that.
Yeah.
Hey, we had an earthquake in Massachusetts a couple weeks ago. That one really threw me.
Whoa.
I thought it struck at the house. It's like I'm just sitting in my own business and sort of rumble. I'm like, and I called my daughter. I go, "Did you feel that?" She goes, "Yeah." And I go, "What was that?" She goes, "Earthquake." And I go, "Oh, earthquake. That's a new one."
Yeah, so like out here, like they have earthquakes like all day long. It's crazy. Like most days, there's an earthquake, right? And we don't even report them anymore. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I don't know. There's this thing called the internet, and it has like Google on it. I looked stuff up, and I went, "Wow! I literally have earthquakes every day, and I don't even feel them. That's amazing." Wow. Yeah, I've heard earthquakes, and I felt.
Don't worry about them till you feel them.
Crazy. Yeah, you know what? The worst quake I ever felt was the Northridge earthquake. I felt that all the way in Temecula here from LA, right? And there was parking structures that were like, collapsed in by my, dad's parents' house. It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, we felt that one. In fact, I slept through it until my mom woke me up. And then, she threw me in bed with my mom and with her and my dad, right? And they had a waterbed at the time. So I might get there rocking and hear the neighbors' pools like sloshing water out everywhere. It was hardcore. I mean, we were in a 2-story house. So the upstairs is just like swaying. Like I was on a train or something. The top part was just swaying.
We were in a 2-story house.
Hey, this house is still there today. It's crazy though, right?
What year was that? You remember the year?
That was like 90 or something, like early 90s or something like that, I think. Earthquake. Okay. You just Google it real quick if you can spell.
They made a pinball machine about that called Earthshaker. Seriously, about Earthquake.
Yeah.
89, but it came out in 1989, so that's why I was wondering if it was based on.
No.
The earthquake happened back in '89 too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it hit San Francisco pretty good.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so like that one, we felt that one in Long Beach. And we had my aunt out there in San Francisco. We didn't hear from her for 2 weeks, but we didn't know that she was just out camping, and she didn't have any damage at her place. But that was like an intense week when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, those are like the two of the most earthquakes I remember. Like I remember hearing the one. I was sitting on my floor downstairs, right? It's the concrete, and I was just sitting there, and my cousin was playing games, so it was really quiet. And I heard like the sound of a train. I don't live by train tracks. They took those out 100,000 years ago. There's no trains here. And so I heard that sound of a train coming. I'm like, "That's an earthquake." And my cousin's like, "What?" And then we just boom, it starts hitting, right? And I was like, "There you go." So I felt the rollings, the shakers. I felt them all. Wow, earthquake, everybody. They're fun. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, earthquake. Sorry, TV movies.
Sadly, Earthquake was a theatrical release. No.
Allen again.
What's one of your favorite classic made-for-TV movies? No wrong answer.
Oh, I have to think on that. It'll take me a minute. I'll answer that when I'm ready. There's so many.
Please don't take your time. Take your time. I'll throw out another one. I will throw out. I had the Babysitter written on my list before you even aired it. So I want to give you a solid pat on the back.
All right, high five.
Oh, and another one William Shatner did was called Secrets of a Married Man, and that one's raunchy. That's the one where he actually has.
I'm going to release that on my channel. It's all ready to go.
Oh, please. William Shatner plays this middle-aged guy having a midlife crisis, and he has an affair with a prostitute whose pimp then tries to blackmail her. It's so
played
raunchy.
by the prostitute's played by the gorgeous. You know it, Thrash?
I'm drawing a blank. Help me out here.
From Moonlighting, the co-star of Moonlight. Sybil Shepherd.
Thank you, Sybil Shepherd. Yes, it was.
But his wife is hot too, Michelle Phillips.
That's another movie I've seen recently.
Sir? Huh?
That's another movie I've seen recently.
Really?
It's on there on YouTube. Someone else has put it out there, but I have my version from VHS. Someone put a better quality DVD version, but whatever.
And one that I've only heard of, but I've wanted to see for years. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. It's called Bad Ronald. Anyone hear of this one?
Yeah.
That one's supposedly it's about a guy He's kind of woo, and he commits a murder, and the mother, to hide him, sort of wallpapers over his door. So when the cops come looking for him, they don't realize there's a room there, and the mother decides the best way to keep him from going to prison is to keep him in there. But she eventually dies, and they sell the house, and the new owners don't realize there's a crazy person in the wall of the house they bought. I'm like, I've wanted to see it for years, but I've never actually found it. So if any of you have seen it, let me know how it is, because
Wow.
I've only read about it. But it's that one. That's a crazy one. That's nightmare fuel.
Well, they are. And there you go. Okay.
You know, Will, the Waltons, I like the first movie. The Waltons TV show is based on a TV movie. So that's up there. Christmas on Walton's Mountain, 1972.
Yes. I remember that now that you mentioned it.
Well, that gives a flashback. Yeah.
I'm glad I
Not a
missed it.
good one, but a flashback.
It's the best thing
My
I've ever all day.
No, let me tell you about the Waltons. That's one of them TV shows when I was staying with my grandparents, like Lawrence Welk, that they watched, and you had no choice but to sit there and watch this with them. So you grow a deep, deep-seated resentment towards the Waltons and Lawrence Welk.
Yeah, they're always poor, right? It was during the Depression. I don't like to watch shows like that, or Good Times, where they're in the hood. You know, I like to watch the Jeffersons and people are moving on up. And
Oh, by the way, I got
is
the
up.
stream back up. You can add it to your. I was just telling, or whatever.
I just
PONS,
did it to
add
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, you can add it to your channel. I just remembered how to do it.
Well,
And I
it's a
got
little
it
bit
done.
late for all that now, but
Well, you know what? I remembered. Okay.
I'll stream that last 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Might as well.
Last 10 minutes. Well,
Do you guys stop at 8:30? Do you have like a hard stop?
we
Like,
usually around 7:20, 8:20, 20
Well,
after.
Yeah.
We usually run about 75 minutes.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah. So there you go.
And
Well, I mean,
Sarah, if I asked you nicely, could you do a rebroadcast of this, like you did on the one for Tug earlier today, so that when it ends, it'll rebroadcast, because then it'll all be on my channel? Pretty please, can you hear me?
I don't know how that works, because all it is like whatever you have, you have. You can't go back to what we already had unless you have the actual thing downloaded from the StreamYard. I can have you sign in and you can download it and you can put it on your channel as a video if you want.
I can.
Yeah. Meet me after the show and I'll give you the way to sign in. It's called the back door. You sign in, you go to my thing, you just grab what you want.
Yep.
Awesome. I'll try that. But I was
Yeah.
thinking, since you, with Tug's show before, when it was over, you just rebroadcast it again, and that loop kept showing on my.
I didn't rebroadcast it. I shared it out on Facebook. I shared yours, his, and mine. That's 3 shows. I shared it out over there, all 3 of them, and then I mentioned us all in it in different orders because we were all there. Yeah,
I'm with it.
there you go.
I'm with it.
And
Oh, speaking of pinball,
yeah,
Say hello to my little friends.
I love pinball. It's an amazing thing. I can
Yeah, I
pinball all
can't
day
remember
long.
the pinball question from earlier, but
Well, there was in Windows 95 came out. There was Stones and Bones or something like that pinball on it. And I played that all the time. And then I would try to play the flight simulator. Listen, I crashed just getting in it, so I don't know how that happens. It's not good. His brother loves pinball too.
Pinball is very relaxing. And it's eye-hand coordination, unlike a video game. I don't like the video simulated pinball because you can't tilt and do all those little things that try to trick the ball.
yeah, there's no finesse to it.
But I like what they have now. Those mini pinball machines based on the actual pinballs, and I'm gonna get those, man. Like you know how people want to read in bathrooms? I could play pinball. Okay.
Quick shout out to my sister who gave me a cool gift. My brother-in-law was working at Toylanta, a huge toy convention here in Atlanta, and he works for like the #1 toy grading company in the world. So he was manning the booth, and so my sister and my niece went to visit him, and she saw there a poster. I can't show it; it's in another room, of all of the Kenner Star Wars action figures. Like, just it got hundreds throughout the year, starting with the 1978 Kenner to present. Just an amazing poster. So thanks, sis. I know she's not watching this, But she knows. I thanked her today. We did a family event. She gave me that poster. I thought it was really sweet of her. So
Yeah, and I gotta say that Tech was talking about the dumb deaf blind kid, right? Yeah, I love that movie, and it was a good song, but that movie is awesome. It is so
what
good.
movie? What the dumb
Tommy,
The pinball,
Oh,
yeah,
Tommy.
Tommy, the pinball wizard, Tommy.
Of course. Yeah.
love
The
that.
Acid Queen. I love Tina Turner in that as the Acid Queen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody should be the Acid Queen. I'm just saying. I heard it's fun. Anyways, moving on. TV movies. Go on.
And after 6 times, you're officially insane legally.
Well, oh well. All right. Anyways, whose turn is it next? Don't say mine because my brain turned off a long time ago.
Yours.
Yeah, I'm out. I don't know anymore right now.
Tracy
Sorry.
loves slot machines. So do I. Wheel of Fortune slots are my favorite. Yep.
Ooh,
Slots are
I
fun.
like slot machines from Konami. Those are good. I like those
Those
ones.
are good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's the
John,
Have you
what's
played
going
that, guys? Thrasher, you played the Wonder Woman slot machine based on the Linda Carter show? There's 2, one for World War II era and one for 1970, late 70s era. They're so much
I
fun.
have not.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have
dude,
not.
it's got the music. You love it.
I haven't played a slot machine since the 80s. When I was in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to Vegas in the 80s. I played some slot machines. But I didn't have real good luck. I didn't win a bunch of money on a slot machine.
No one has good luck.
I won like
Except Vegas.
I won
Yeah.
$79 one time in Vegas, and then I won like 200 pennies in a casino in somewhere near Temecula. It was awesome. You know how much 200 pennies is? Yeah, $20. You got it.
And I went to a Native American reservation up in North Carolina where they gamble, and I won some money on a roulette wheel up there.
Cool. I played roulette and then promptly lost. I was like, this is fun. And then I went to go do something else fun. Yeah. Anyways, roulette. It's a kind of a cool game, though. I do like that.
Always bet on black. Like they said in
Mhm.
Passenger 57, Wesley Snipes' line. Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Although, yeah, I like gambling.
Williams Pinball was my favorite manufacturer, and they left the pinball business to make slot machines exclusively. Williams is in Chicago, Illinois, and yeah, I hated that. Like in the late 90s, they were out of the pinball business altogether.
What they should have done is made pinball slot machines. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I would have lost
funny
all my
'cause
money on that.
in like the 1920s or around that time frame, a lot of towns were trying to ban pinball machines.
And they did, yes.
Oh
They
yeah,
did.
dude. There was this place wanted to open up in Temecula a few years back, right? They moved from Lake Elsinore out here for better, area, right? And the Temecula people wouldn't let them open up the arcade, and it was full of pinball and all other arcade machines. Wouldn't let them open, right? It just sat there. They couldn't do anything, and I don't know whatever happened. I have never gone back, but I was like sad. And my mom's like, "Well, you don't want all that trash out here," and I'm like, "What trash? Those are games." I'm like, "What?" Anyways, love you, Mom. Yeah, but pinball and arcades. I mean, those are the best. I had the best times in those.
I remember in the 80s, there were a lot of like groups that were trying to shut down the arcades. They said the kids were spending too much of their time and money there too. But it was just funny how, from the 1920s to the 1980s, it's like, wow, the worm has turned, because in the earlier days it was the pinball machines. And here's a little factoid. Do you know why the ice cream sundae is called the ice cream sundae? Anyone?
No.
Chance knows, but he's gonna let me tell it. Danny, do you know? It's actually a really, really funny story.
No.
In early Americana, as you know, the ice cream soda is like one of the best treats in the country, right? A lot of religious groups thought that it was too decadent to be served on the Lord's Day, so communities were banning the sale of ice cream sodas on Sunday. But the shops wanted to stay open because the kids didn't have school, so that Sunday was a big business day. So what they did was they omitted the soda and served the rest of the ingredients: ice cream, chocolate syrup, and whipped cream, cherry on top. And they called it the ice cream sundae because there was no law about serving that on Sunday. And I just thought that was amazing. It's funny, the things that really set people off over the years,
Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard some really interesting things, and I would say that takes the cake, but it's more like the ice cream cake on that one.
Takes the ice cream on that one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm guilty of eating way too much ice cream in my life.
Oh, I love ice cream. I pour weed syrup in my ice cream. It's the best. Oh man.
Oh, and Johnny, here's another one for you.
Uh,
A few years ago, a parents group tried to sue Chuck E. Cheese because at the arcade games there, you could win prize tickets, which you could use to redeem for prizes. And they tried to say that was gambling because they're parlaying money into prizes they could win.
But see, what they can do
failed.
there too is just buy it. They can just go up there and buy whatever prize they want. They don't have to win it, right?
Win it,
So
exactly.
really, it's not gambling at that point because of that, right?
It's an amusement. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you can just go up there and go,
someone-
well, look, my kid sucks, but I'm gonna get that big thing for them, and you could just buy it.
But Chuck
I'm
E.
not-
Cheese is having
it's
enough
almost-
problems. They're gonna get sued for like.
It's so much
Gamble.
fun. It's so much fun to spend $25 trying to get that little ball in that stupid ring to get a handful of tickets to go get a $3 rubber toy.
I gotta tell you that fishing game where you cast and can win tickets, that's addictive. That
No, there's the ones that you drop the coins in, right? And they have those spinning wheels, and they bring the coins forward. I love those. I can win pretty good on those. You know,
I
would
live, there's a
kids
Chuck E.
on
Cheese
those.
right down the road. I can walk there. I do it all the time. I'm kidding.
Dude.
No,
Chuck E.
there is though, but I have no. They don't even good games there. If they had pinball, I might go and then I'd get escorted out. Sir, where's your kid? I don't have a kid. What are you doing here? But
Well, look,
can I quickly say, a young African American woman I met on a set last week was bashing religion. I'm not going to bash religion. Don't get me wrong, but she was like saying it's all about real estate. It is. It's all a real estate land grab. That's all religion's all about. It's about the real estate. Trust me. And she kept rattling on. I'm like, okay. She kept telling me, beating me over the head. And anyway, I don't even know how. She's the one that brought up religion. I wasn't even talking religion.
That's absolutely the craziest thing I ever heard. We all know it's not about land; it's about money.
Well, she said that too. Anyway,
Well,
money, land.
whatever.
hey, classic video game 45. Is that one of your people, Thrash? Or
Sure is.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
He's
that's a
got some
good
really
idea.
cool old games up there he puts up. I enjoy that channel immensely.
I got to subscribe to that one. If someone drops a link, I'll subscribe.
Well, if he comes over to my chat, he can drop his link in the chat. He's wrenched up over here. So come in my channel, drop your links, everybody. Then go back to wherever you want to be. There you go.
Before we run out of time, let me ask you all a trivia question later. Not now, when it's my turn. I'm talking too much. Just it's an audio.
Now.
What?
Go ahead.
Just go ahead.
Okay. I want Thrash or Danny or Sarah. Most likely to be Danny or Thrash that'll know this. I'm going to hum incidental music from a big motion picture release and just interrupt me with the title. You got to stop me because it's very awkward and embarrassing. I can't hum. I'm off key. So here we go. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Now you're gonna know what it is. Wah 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 wah. It's Res Lost Ark. I thought when y'all would get that, I hummed it so badly. That's why the scene, what truck, where they're in the first movie, and there's a great musical piece by John Williams. Okay, I've gone nuts. Enough said. I did that bad. You would have gotten it. And last night, you would have known this, guys. You weren't there, Thrash. If I said the line, Clear Bay 27, we're opening the magnetic field. What movie would that be? Now, Dan knows because he was there. What line is that from? Or chat, anybody.
2001.
It was Indiana Jones. I did it badly. Red Lost Ark.
Oh,
Clear Bay 27, we are opening the magnetic field.
I just rubbed this in my eye. Oh, that's bad.
You don't know Thrash?
Well, I guess 2001, but that was wrong.
It's
I heard
Star Wars.
Bay.
When the Millennium Falcon's getting scooped up by the tractor beam, and you hear a voice over telling the stormtroopers to get out of the way. We're opening up the bay, and you'll get sucked out into space. You know, Clear Bay 27. We're opening the magnetic field. And you could see like the little pole where the model was. See that little pole goes into the light. You know. Anyway,
That's one of my
Check.
big problems, Chance. I can never identify music. Whenever we play the wrestling trivia game and they start playing the theme songs for wrestlers, I've heard it 1,000 times and it just don't click who that is.
But you know, also that scene has a lot of John Williams music. So if you heard the music, you would know that line immediately. When you isolate the line, it's hard to guess what movie it's from. Actually, because you have the dun, 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 you know, Clear Bay 27, we're opening the magnetic field.
Well, there's some pieces of music, you know, that's unmistakable, like the theme from the Pink Panther.
Oh yeah.
Henry Mancini.
You know, no matter what, you're gonna get them.
Hey, you know that babysitter, guys? Are you into Space 1999 Thrash like I am and Sarah? The director of that, I learned this yesterday. The director of The Babysitter directed 2 episodes of season 2 of Space 1999. Space Warp, where Maya's going nuts, where she has a fever and she transforms into monster after monster, and one called the Seance Spectre. Enough said. I thought that was interesting.
You know, when I was a kid, I actually had the entire Space 1999 line of toys, complete with that big white spaceship that come apart and everything, man.
The Eagle. Yeah, the Eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. Chance, here's one for you. I don't know the name of the episode, but I know it when I start describing it, you'll get it almost instantly. It has a space Hydra in it. And it's amazing because it's not actually told through the primary characters. It's a side story from a guy who was at the base, but he's talking about this like horrible experience he had years before, where they come out of the section of space, and this space it looks like that sea anemone, that the Hydra, and it manages to beam itself into the ship, and it sucks the crew members in one at a time. And here's the creepy part: it sucks them in, and then it spits out their sort of charred, burned remains.
Yes, Dragon's Domain. Yes, Sarah knows it. Yeah.
And I remember I saw that when I was like 9 or 10, and it like scarred me. It was like something of a horror movie, and I didn't think anything of it. But years later, I was like, some Space 1999 popped up in my suggestion box on YouTube, and I found that bit. And I went to the comments, and apparently, lots of people my age were like mentally traumatized by that scene.
My friend Jeff was too. He talked about it. He wasn't even a big fan of that show, but that episode always stuck with him. Yeah. Yeah.
So I watched all of them, and I thought they were all just awesome. And I can't say that anything sticks out as like horrifying, because, you know, it was practical effects and it looked great. Okay.
It was.
And it was like Alien, was it not, Thrash? It was like the precursor to Alien. And the same guy did the special effects. Brian Johnson, ironically, did the special effects in Alien. The 1999 was filmed in 74 and Alien in 78. So it was like 4 years before.
Wow.
In terms of production time, not release time, production. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Brian Blessed was Maya's father.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. And she turns into him, even when she turns into all the monsters, she turns into him, which I always thought was really interesting.
That's right. I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
And
different actor, but turns into
he's in heavy makeup, so it's her dad. But yeah.
And he was in season 1 episode 2. Remember with the ice planet, like pre-Hoth, Ice World?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's cool, because then they leave it and the guy turns into a skeleton. That's awesome.
Correct, becomes a skeleton. And for those in the layman might not know, he was the Hawkman in Flash Gordon. And Phantom Menace did the voice of "We do not care about Nabu." He played that character. I forgot the character's name.
He did. But to me, he'll always be Richard III Richard IV in Blackadder, the first incarnation of Blackadder. That's my favorite portrayal of his.
Blackadder don't end well.
Well, anyways, I blame
Have you lost your
Chance.
conker?
I blame Chance for me loving Space 1989. Thank you, Chance.
I mailed you a comic book.
Yeah, it's right
of Space
here.
1999.
It's right here. Even.
I got some right here.
Right here. Yeah, I got it right here.
Cool.
It's this one. I mailed you this one. Look, hold it up again, Sarah. Let's do twinsies.
Hold on. Let me take it out of the thing. I gotta take it out.
Oh, then don't worry about it. I won't.
No, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Trust and believe. I take it out a lot and go, "This is awesome." I don't touch it anymore after that. I don't want to ruin it.
Yours is in better condition than this one because this had like an ad cut out of it. But I have another one that's mint as well. But
the Star Wars ones.
This is the only comic book Thrash and Dan featuring season 2. With Maya, only one issue did. There it is. Look, twinsies.
Yep.
Turn it to the light. There you go. Or turn it away from the light.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's see.
I got a 1999 comic book on my wall, but I think it's different than all these.
Well, you have this one too.
There's only 7 of them. There's only 7. Look at that one with the eagle blowing up. John Byrne art.
Nice.
And yeah, Koenig in space, his eagle's blown up around him. Enough said.
Yep.
Nobody cares in the audience. I'm giving these to my friend Jeff Logan.
You got the
Logan's
number one?
Run.
Huh?
Did you have the number one?
Yeah, I have them all. There's 7 of them. Joe Staten did the cover art of number 1. It's in a box, so these are duplicate copies I have. I'm going to give to my friend Jeff at the comic show on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm you
giving you a Batman card, Sarah, tomorrow.
All right, cool. Batman, everybody.
You don't like Grease. I was going to send you Grease cards, but you hate Grease, the movie Grease.
You're so sweet to me, Chance. Thank you for remembering that.
I was just looking at the Grease cards you sent me the other day. By the way, I keep them in like a little memento box by my computer, and I was going through it looking for something else. I can't remember what, but I go, "Oh wow, Chance's cards." I still got them.
A lot of people have Chance's cards.
I think Chance does me this way just to mess with me, but he sends cards to everybody else but me, and he's been gonna send me these cards for like 6 months now, and I've been waiting on them. And I think he's just jerking me around to mess with me now. I really do.
And I owe you a pin too. I'm trying to find one of my Pod Blast pins.
Man, I need some more Pod Blast stickers too. I don't have any to drop out here in Temecula.
The envelope with your card in it.
That's okay.
What?
I'll prove it.
Everybody makes me the butt of their jokes. I'm gonna send you this, and then it never shows up.
Man, I sent you one package.
I got this guy up in New York, up upstate New York, and this guy's been telling me he's gonna send me some of this maple syrup they make. For 2.5 freaking years, I've been waiting on that maple syrup.
You're covering up your dress.
Hey, but Dan, you got the Sasquatch stuff I sent you from that shop up here for your birthday.
Yep.
Probably a couple years ago now. You got that stuff, right?
It's a P.O. box, Chance. You can show
Do you
everybody
remember
the
I
P.O.
sent you some
box.
stuff?
Yeah, I got your stuff, dude.
All right, good.
That's your Batman card.
Now I
but
feel
it's
bad.
sealed. I sealed it already, Sarah, so I can't put in anything else.
It's fine. It's okay. And I'll look past it this time. I don't remember what I even said to put it there now. Oh, yeah,
Esmeralda, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you for your husband. Tell him I said
Everyone
hi.
say hi to Mama Thrash. She's just coming in from a smoke break.
Hi, Mama Flash. Not Flash. I meant Thrash.
Hey, Mrs. Thrash.
Whoa. Anyways.
There's Mrs. Thrash is the Mrs. Mama Thrash is my mother. Right. And we don't smoke in the house, so she's out in the smoker's lounge. Or she was.
But you're smoking in the house. We see you now. Look how smoking hot you are. That's not what I said.
Oh stop.
You'll never guess what this is.
It's a box, a book.
It's a
notebook.
Owner Black album. No.
It's an owner's manual to my Indiana Jones pinball machine.
Oh,
I'm going to feature it on my channel and when I go live talking about pinball again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
that's cool squared.
Owner's manual to Cyclone, my other machine, schematics and all that stuff.
I got this new phone here. I'm getting situated here so I can be back full time on YouTube. Isn't that great? Everybody, aren't you excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Right?
Oh, and speaking of addresses, Tug, did you get my address? I sent my address. Did you get it, Tug? Not the mama. Not the mama. Not the mama.
Yeah. Well, anyways, but yeah, I called her Flash instead of Thrash because I don't know why. I'm sorry about that.
Well, because the name originally was Mama Cass, but I went with Mama Thrash and there's a nice ring to it. And she fell in love with it, so that's why I call her Mama Thrash.
I thought that was something else for a minute there.
Oh no, it's a pen. No, this is legal.
Oh.
I got some too, man. It's legal, I swear.
That's legal in Massachusetts.
Hold up what's in the bag in front of me.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave that bag away too. Yeah. Okay.
Were you guys in the Movie Watcher Club, AMC, circa 1994? Did you have a Movie Watcher card? Or you can't see that. There we go.
No, but I had
I believe I did.
Yeah,
I believe I did.
Right. That's their program right there. And you get there's a coupon for a free popcorn I never redeemed. It expired in 1995. I'm a little late.
Cheers. A little late. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It expired it's valid January 1st to 31st, 1998. My bad.
Anyway, this is so funny.
Oh, Billy Sellers is joining us. Billy, how you doing? Anywhere near Raleigh? My dad lives in Raleigh. By the way, welcome to the party.
Yeah, we party here all the time. MYFLŽCK is synonymous with parties. All the time parties here. Everywhere I go, party. Promise.
And Caitlin, hello to you too.
Thrash and unapologetic geek and everybody. Don't you remember when they had a student discount at the movie theaters? That went away. I would show my student ID long after I was out of college, and they still took it. I'm a student. Okay, and now I think I don't even know if seniors get a discount. They might with AARP or something like that. But
I don't know.
One day I need to sign up for that stuff because I'm cheap. But there used to be a student discount. I wish they need to bring that back. They're struggling to get people in the theaters with streaming being so popular. They need to do gimmicks like that.
Well, I remember we didn't have a senior discount at the movie store I worked at, and the seniors would get so hostile. Do you have a senior discount? Sorry, no. Why not?
You're not a senior.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, when I was into high school, right, I had some people that worked at Blockbuster that I went to school with, and they were going to give me all the free movies I wanted up until I made a really incredibly good joke. It just was at their expense. Anyways, then I had to pay half price, so whatever. Anyways, moral of the story is sometimes don't make fun of people and why they got fired from their job at KFC for deep frying their clothing. It's probably not a good idea to do that for their manager. They get kind of mad.
Are you kidding me?
No, they literally deep fried their clothing. Yeah, they walked out in their underwear. Yeah, fantastic.
Why? Why?
Listen, I don't know. As a teenager, that was never my idea of anything to ever do, right? I did backyard wrestling. I thought that was fun. That makes sense. But deep frying my clothes and walking out in my underwear does not sound like a good idea.
No. Emily Miller said she hasn't been to a theater since Rogue One. Was it that bad? I liked it.
Dude, the last movie I saw in theaters was at the Chinese Band Theater, and it was what's his name thing, that Star Wars movie with, oh my gosh,
Solo story?
Yeah. So I saw it. So I'm like at this really cool theater and these really comfortable reclining seats and stuff, right? And I'm watching this movie and I'm like, wow, I can't wait till this is over. Man, that was an awful movie.
I've been to that theater, Man's Chinese, a couple times. Hey, was it any good? Looney Tunes movie, classic video game 45. I was going to see that with friends this weekend. I didn't wind up doing it. Was it any good? Were the cartoons funny?
He walked out of Transformers 2. I mean, Transformers 2. Yeah. Well, I saw that first one, and I was like, well, that's not like the cartoon at all. I missed the cartoon.
I saw the cartoon in the theaters where they're in his Borgnine.
Oh, that's so cool.
And Leonard Nimoy. And I thought that was cool. But again, we're going back, what was that, 85, 86, I want to say? Crazy.
I said Man's Chinese Theater. That's funny. Look at Tug said, put his comment on screen. It's Man's Chinese Theater, not the Chinese Man's Theater.
I might have said it backwards. It might have been a dyslexia thing, so sorry if I did.
God. Well, you're half Chinese, so you can say that anyway. Not that you meant anything ill-willed.
I know. That's just dyslexia things when I transpose like that, right? It's like, sorry. I mean, I literally just called Mrs. or Mama Thrash Mama Flash, so that's not good.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Calgon.
No, it wasn't Calgon. I forgot. It was a detergent.
So it was.
Yeah, we need more Calgon. It was.
Was it Calgon? Okay. I remember Calgon Take Me Away, the lady wanting to take a bath, and a bubble bath, because she was so sick of her kids. She hated her life. Calgon, take me away. Sorry.
That was the bubble bath. There was also the detergent, but yes.
I didn't know that. Yes.
Speaking of detergents, do you know that very, very famous episode of the Brady Bunch in the last season where they decided to do a detergent commercial? Do you know who the director is supposed to be based on?
No.
It's an in-joke in the industry. It was a very young Steven Spielberg. The director who's supposed to direct the commercial, he was channeling Steven Spielberg when he did that.
Wow, that's a great fact. I didn't know that fun fact.
Thank you. I forget who told me that, but I'm like, that is great. And when you watch it again, you're like, yeah, I can kind of see it. Like when they're walking out, he's like, he's like framing them and everything. Where were you guys? We were improvising. Where? In a swamp?
Well, some people just do that.
And I love Duel, his first movie he ever directed. It was a TV movie. That's up my favorite list of top. I'll just say Duel is my number one.
I love Duel. We already talked about
about that
Duel.
one earlier. It's a great.
How much we all love Duel.
Dennis
We did
Weaver.
the Duel deep dive earlier.
Yeah.
Hey,
real quick
music,
here,
what's going on, brother?
Real quick here, I want to give a little shout out to Music and Fun there in Sector. He and I have been working to do some funny songs and stuff together and whatever. So, make sure you check him out and subscribe and all that, and have lots of giggles because dude's funny.
And hey, Chance, what you got coming up anytime soon?
Well, I'm going to be, this is only regional, but I'm going to be next weekend at Stellar Fest interviewing the lady that was in the Man Trap monster outfit, and she was a fembot. My line, Sarah, to her is going to be like, I wish I could say meeting you's a dream, but it's more like a nightmare because you were in a lot of my nightmares. She was the Salt Vampire M113 creature, and she was the Obion in Battlestar Galactica, like we were talking about, that creature in the casino. The main one that was talking and squealing, and they translated the lines. That was her, and much more recent stuff, too. And she looks really good, at least in the picture for her age. And I'm not going to hit on her. It sounds like I'm going to hit on the lady. No, that's not where I'm going with it. I'm just saying. And Marta Krista, I'm going to interview all of them for the Nostalgic Pod Blast. So stay tuned to my channel if you want to see the interviews, and others too that'll be there, like actors from Babylon 5, and it's a science fiction.
Tell them all I said hi because I'm sure they all know that I'm so famous now. So there you go.
But for more information, stellarfest.org, not .com, .org for more information. And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. God, I hope I got those dates right, in Atlanta, Georgia, actually in Gwinnett County.
And you can just send me all their autographs. You have my address, so I'll be looking forward to that.
And I'm bringing a projector to show some of my best science fiction material, good color prints by request. See what people want. I'm going to bring a whole stack of film, my projector, a speaker, a screen, everything. But I think they're going to have a big old screen, so I don't think I need to bring it. But as backup, I'm going to bring one of my screens.
Oh yeah, you should always have it. Be prepared.
Be prepared. And so that's all. And then I'm doing a series on pinball machines based on movies, and I've gotten up to the letter I. I go in alphabetical order, but I missed Black Hole for some reason. I don't know why it slipped my mind, so I got to go back and cover the Black Hole pinball machine. So I film these machines and feature them, or I will find a clip of the machine being played. And then I'm also covering the women of Star Trek. I got the idea from you guys. I'm wrapping up season 1. I'm doing it every other week because a lot of people don't care for Star Trek or pinball. So
try to have two of my favorite things. People who don't like them are crazy.
I didn't know you liked pinball, Sarah.
Oh, I love pinball. I used to go to the roller rink just to play Star Trek pinball sometimes.
Thanks, Music, Movies, and More. I'm going to have the interviews posted as soon as possible. And I go live Friday night around 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. And I have guests sometimes too. So, yeah. Thank you. And I'm a big pinball nerd.
What you got?
Did you guys see my pinball machine video? I did. I took the glass off of Raise the Lost Ark. I have a Indiana Jones pinball adventure about the original trilogy, and I took off the glass and filmed it. It's kind of not the best photography. I just used my phone. I did the best I could. I need to redo that when I have company over that can film me playing, because I couldn't do the video modes. Anyway, I better shut up. It's the caffeine. Sunkiss is the only major orange soda with caffeine in it. Fun fact. Knee high, if you can find knee high. Anyway.
Well, anyway, my eyes start burning because I rubbed that in it.
I have another of my top 10 of the worst dad jokes ever conceived of video going this week. I'm not sure what day it is, but it will be going up this week. Next Sunday, I will have a live chat come heck or high water. And of course, next Sunday, we're also going to have part 2 of the greatest anthology films of all time on Tug's channel. So I have 2 things going on this week, and I might even have a second piece of content on the channel this week, but I don't want to jinx it. So, but we will certainly try.
I agree with you, Tug. That was Starkiss. So I know.
Sorry, Charlie. This week I'm doing nothing. I'm gonna sleep a lot and get wasted and party and chill and do nothing to do with YouTube as much as possible.
Well, this Thursday, Snarky and I are having ladies' night, so we expect all you fellers to be in the chat, dropping money at us. Okay, it'd be great. There's plenty of money, little emojis, so we're expecting it. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna collect the whole set of all the monies. That'd be awesome. Yeah. So we're doing a little different there, so you guys can all have a break, and it'll be Snarky, myself, and I believe Tracy will be there, and there's some other people that we invited, but we haven't heard back yet. So.
And with
But
that,
yeah,
we'll
peace
all
out.
say good night and catch y'all next week.
Super.
All
Thanks.
right.
Good to see you. Night, everyone.
Future.
Night. Oh, I gotta hit in stream.
Happy
I'm gonna hit the
trails.
button.
Sit right back, it's time to show. With Pons and Dan in a TV flow. Geeks for sure with tales to tell. Every Sunday is pretty swell. Good times here, you'll want some more. Remember days you can't ignore. Kids and family, friends so dear. Join us now, the crew is here. On the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere. Groovy shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Love the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flip, so revere. Love the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, let's all revere. These shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Like